Hi, and thank you for joining me for this NovaCore training session. In this video, we're going to have an in-depth look at how to create and manage users inside of NovaCore CMS. What we're going to do first is head to the Tools and Config section. In this section, this is where we'll find all the controls for our users. We can actually have a look at some of the stuff that's related to the user that's logged in at the moment, including changing the password. This is where you go to change the password of the user that you're logged in at the current time. You can also see other people who are logged into the system, see their IP address and the time that they logged in and which user it is. But right now we're going to create some new users. What we want to do is click on the Manage Users and Group icon. So the icon is a picture of what look to be like three gentlemen wearing three different colored sweaters. So we're going to click on that one, and it's going to bring up our Manage Users and Groups and Permissions section. First thing we want to do is click New User, and here we can define whether this person is a web user or not. This user will only have access via a web user interface on the local network. We're going to create a full NovaCore user for this demonstration. The username that I'm going to give is simply testNC, so a NovaCore test user. I'm going to place a password in. Just remember that the usernames do have to be 5 characters or more. And then I'm going to give them a surname, so test, and given name is John, and an email address. And then click OK. As you can see here, my user will now show up in my user list. john@novacore.com.au is the email address, given name, and surname. I can now see the permissions they have at the bottom here and allow them permissions that I want them to have. So under the general permissions, administrator allows them complete access to the system, so we might not want that. Framework options gives them the ability to make frameworks and edit frameworks, as well as edit the intent, key actions, responsible persons, and link documents to standards. We do want that. Templates is the ability to create templates and apply templates to documentation. Permission management means the ability to manage their permissions and other permissions of other users. And library management obviously is to manage the library in the document management system. We actually want to have a look at some of the document permissions now. The ability to view documents, edit them, revise them, check them out, approve them, create documents, delete them, print them, and export them. We want our user to have all of those except for approval rights. And folder permissions are to do with the document management system. So in this case, we want them to view, create, edit, move, and delete folders within the document management system. When we're quite happy we've got our permissions correct, we simply click the tick up here and save it. If you have multiple users that will have the same permissions, for instance, admin users, if you have 4 different admin staff that will have the same permission, you simply create a group and assign that person to the member of the group which has the same permissions. When creating a group, all you simply do is give that group the identical permissions you would like all the users to have, and then assign that user as a member of the group. Creating users inside of NovaCore is simple, and even editing existing users by clicking on their name and then having a look at their permissions down at the bottom and ticking and unticking accordingly. Just remember that if you don't have permission management or administrator right, you will not be able to enter the Manage Users and Groups section. So if that button is not highlighted or blanked out, you will have to contact your NovaCore administrator to see if you have the correct permissions. If you do have the correct permissions, please remember to put an email address in to every user that is a NovaCore user in the system. Thank you for joining me for this training session. If you'd like to see some more training videos, head to our website www.novacore.com.au or follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/NovaCore Systems.